Hello, everyone. Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever hit that afternoon wall, tired, foggy, craving sugar or caffeine, even though you healthy that day? If that's you, you're not broken. You're just running on the wrong fuel. When we talk about energy, most people think of caffeine, energy drinks, or sugary snacks as the go-to solution. But true, lasting energy doesn't come from a can or a cup. It comes from the fuel your body is designed to burn efficiently. The human body has two primary fuel sources, sugar and fat. Most people today are running on sugar, and that's a big part of why they feel tired all the time. When you eat bread, pasta, cereal, soda, or anything refined, your blood sugar spikes. Your body releases insulin to push that sugar into your cells for energy, but what goes up must come down. After that spike, you experience a crash. And that's when you feel that mid-afternoon fatigue, brain fog, or the sudden urge to grab another snack. This roller coaster of highs and lows keeps you dependent on constant refueling, and your cells become less efficient over time. Now imagine running your body on a cleaner, steadier fuel, fat. When you limit sugars and refined carbohydrates, your insulin levels drop and your body starts tapping into its stored fat for energy. Fat is like a slow burning log on the fire compared to the flash of paper that sugar provides. It burns longer, steadier, and cleaner. You're no longer tied to meal schedules, snacks, or coffee for survival. Your body becomes what's known as fat adapted, meaning it's efficient at burning fat for energy, both from food and from your own reserves. That's when your energy stops coming in spikes and starts flowing consistently throughout the day. Inside every cell are tiny energy factories called mitochondria. They take the fuel you give them and convert it into energy, real energy, in the form of something called ATP. The better your mitochondria function, the more energy you have. When you fuel them with junk food, processed carbs, and sugar, they get overloaded and stressed. That stress creates byproducts called free radicals that damage the mitochondria and make them less efficient. But when you fuel them with nutrients from vegetables, healthy fats, and moderate protein, those same mitochondria thrive. They produce energy more efficiently and with fewer waste products. That's why people who switch to a clean, low-carb, nutrient-rich diet often report that they wake up feeling energized before their first cup of coffee. The problem isn't that people don't eat enough, it's that they eat the wrong things too often. Every time you eat, your insulin rises, especially when the food contains carbohydrates. Frequent eating keeps insulin high, and high insulin locks fat in your cells, making it impossible to burn it for fuel. So even though your body has thousands of calories stored as fat, it can't access them. You're hungry, tired, and running on fumes while sitting on a full tank of energy you can't use. By spacing your meals farther apart and reducing carbs, you give insulin a chance to drop. That's when your body flips the switch and starts using fat for energy again. When this happens, you'll notice that your energy feels different. It's smoother. You don't get that crash after lunch or the fog in the late afternoon. You feel alert but calm, focused but relaxed. That's what happens when your energy comes from fat rather than sugar. It's not about eating less, it's about eating smarter. Choose foods that stabilize your blood sugar, leafy greens, avocados, eggs, fish, nuts, and olive oil. Avoid the refined carbs that cause spikes and crashes. Your body doesn't need constant external energy, it needs internal balance. Once your metabolism shifts into that clean burning state, your energy doesn't depend on willpower or stimulants anymore. It becomes automatic. It's your natural state. Your brain is the command center of your entire body, and it runs on a very specific kind of fuel. Most people assume that the brain's main source of energy is sugar because glucose is often called the brain's primary fuel. But that's only true for people who haven't trained their bodies to burn fat efficiently. In reality, the brain performs far better when it runs on ketones, a clean fuel produced when your body breaks down fat. Think of sugar as lighter fluid, quick to ignite but gone in an instant, while fat is like a steady, burning candle that lasts. When your brain relies on sugar, you experience bursts of focus followed by crashes, brain fog, and mood swings. When it runs on fat, you experience mental clarity, sharper concentration, and calm, steady focus throughout the day. Your brain is composed of about 60% fat by weight. Every cell membrane, every connection between neurons, and even the protective coating around your nerves called myelin all depend on healthy fats. When your diet lacks those fats, the brain literally starts to lose structural integrity. That's why low-fat diets often lead to fatigue, forgetfulness, and irritability. The type of fat you eat determines the quality of your brain's building materials. Trans fats and highly processed vegetable oils create inflammation, damage neural connections. On the other hand, fats from sources like avocados, eggs, olive oil, wild-caught salmon, nuts, and grass-fed butter strengthen the brain's membranes and support efficient signaling. It's like upgrading from static-filled radio to crystal clear sound. The modern diet is full of processed foods that flood your system with sugar and disrupt the delicate chemistry of the brain. When blood sugar levels rise too fast, insulin spikes to bring them back down, but that sudden drop leaves the brain deprived of fuel, which can cause fatigue, confusion, and irritability. Over time, this cycle of spikes and crashes leads to insulin resistance, not just in the body, but also in the brain. This condition, sometimes referred to as type 3 diabetes, is linked to cognitive decline and memory problems. By cutting back on refined carbohydrates and introducing healthy fats, you stabilize blood sugar levels and prevent these fluctuations. The result is consistent mental energy and improved cognitive performance. Ketones, the byproduct of fat metabolism, have a protective effect on the brain. They reduce oxidative stress, enhance mitochondrial efficiency, and promote the production of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a compound that helps grow new neurons and strengthen existing ones. That's why people often report sharper memory and mental alertness after adopting a low-carb or ketogenic eating plan. The brain thrives in this environment because it's finally receiving clean, stable fuel that supports long-term function rather than quick bursts of unsustainable energy. Focus isn't just about what you feed your mind with thoughts, it's also about what you feed your brain with nutrients. B vitamins, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids are crucial for neurotransmitter balance and nerve communication. Deficiencies in these nutrients can manifest as anxiety, depression, or poor concentration. When you nourish your body with whole, unprocessed foods, you provide these essential nutrients naturally. The result is not only better focus, but also greater emotional stability and resilience under stress. Your brain is always working, even when you're asleep, and it consumes more energy than any other organ. Giving it the wrong fuel is like trying to run a high-performance car on cheap gas. It sputters and wears out faster. But when you provide the right fats and limit sugar, the brain begins to repair itself. Inflammation goes down, communication between neurons improve, and mental endurance increases. Over time, you'll find that tasks requiring focus or creativity become easier because your brain is finally operating in its optimal state. The clarity, calm, and concentration you experience aren't from a supplement or stimulant. They're the result of feeding your brain what it's truly made of. Fasting is one of the most powerful yet misunderstood tools for improving health, energy, and longevity. Most people associate fasting with starvation or extreme dieting, but in reality, it's the opposite. Fasting is not about depriving your body, it's about giving it a chance to heal. Every time you eat, your body shifts its focus toward digestion, using energy to process food, store nutrients, and manage blood sugar levels. When you eat frequently, especially meals high in carbohydrates, insulin stays elevated, and your body remains in storage mode. Fat burning is turned off, repair mechanisms slow down, and inflammation increases. But when you stop eating for a period of time, something remarkable happens inside your body. Insulin levels drop, and your cells begin to switch from storing energy to using it. This is when your body begins burning fat for fuel, stabilizing your energy levels and giving your cells the chance to repair. Fasting also triggers a biological process called autophagy, which literally means self-eating. It sounds unpleasant, but it's one of the most beneficial processes your body can activate. During autophagy, your cells identify damaged or old components, proteins, organelles, or even entire cells, and break them down into raw materials that can be reused to build new healthy cells. This process acts like a deep cleaning mechanism for your body. It removes waste, prevents the buildup of toxic materials, and rejuvenates tissues from the inside out. Think of it as a cellular reset. By fasting, you give your body the time and space it needs to focus on maintenance instead of constant digestion. Another benefit of fasting is how it affects your energy levels. Many people fear that skipping meals will make them tired or weak, but once your body becomes fat adapted, the opposite happens. Instead of relying on sugar for quick bursts of energy, your body begins to draw from its virtually unlimited fat stores. This produces a steady stream of energy that keeps you alert and focused throughout the day. There are no crashes, no sudden hunger pangs, and no energy dips. Your brain especially loves this shift because it runs efficiently on ketones, the clean energy source produced during fasting. People often describe the feeling as clear-headed, calm, and intensely focused. That's the body and mind working in harmony. Beyond energy and focus, fasting supports longevity by reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, two of the biggest drivers of aging and chronic disease. When insulin is constantly elevated, it promotes inflammation damages blood vessels, and accelerates aging at the cellular level. By lowering insulin through fasting, you calm these pathways and allow your body to restore balance. Studies have shown that fasting increases the production of antioxidant enzymes and boosts mitochondrial health, which means your cells become more efficient at generating energy and less prone to damage. Over time, this translates into better immune function, slower aging, and greater resilience against disease. What's remarkable about fasting is that it doesn't cost anything and doesn't rely on pills, powders, or complicated programs. It's a natural process built into your biology designed to keep you healthy when food was scarce. The modern problem is that we never stop eating long enough to let this mechanism do its job. We snack late at night, eat first thing in the morning, and never give our bodies the break they need. By simply narrowing your eating window, say, eating within 8 hours and fasting for 16, you can reactivate your body's natural repair systems. Over time, you'll notice your hunger becomes more manageable, your energy more stable, and your mind more focused. Fasting teaches your body to become efficient again, to use what it has wisely, and to clean itself from the inside out. It's not just a way to lose weight, it's a way to restore balance and longevity at the deepest biological level. Most people have been taught to focus on calories as the ultimate measure of health, but that approach misses the real picture of what keeps the body energized and functioning well. The body doesn't just count calories, it uses nutrients. Every process that happens inside you, from your heartbeat to your thoughts, depends on vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and fatty acids. Calories only tell you how much energy food contains, not how much nourishment it provides. Two meals may have the same calorie count, but vastly different effects on your body. A fast food burger and fries might give you temporary satisfaction, but it provides very few usable nutrients and a lot of processed oils and sugars that burden your system. A plate of wild salmon with steamed vegetables and olive oil, on the other hand, delivers the same calories but floods your body with high-quality protein, omega-3 fats, magnesium, potassium, and antioxidants. The difference in how you feel afterward is the difference between feeding your body and just filling it. When your diet lacks nutrients, your cells can't function efficiently. The body compensates by sending hunger signals, not because it needs more calories, but because it's craving missing nutrients. This is why people who eat processed foods often feel hungry soon after eating. They're calorie rich but nutrient poor. The body keeps asking for more food in the hope that something nourishing will come in. That leads to overeating, weight gain, and fatigue. When you shift your focus toward nutrient density, foods that provide the most vitamins and minerals per bite, you naturally eat less without trying because your body feels satisfied. True satiety doesn't come from how much you eat, but from how much your body receives in terms of usable nourishment. Every cell in your body needs micronutrients to produce energy. Mitochondria, the tiny power plants in your cells, depend on magnesium, B vitamins, iron, and other trace minerals to generate ATP, the molecule of energy. If these nutrients are missing, your cells can't make energy efficiently, no matter how many calories you consume. This is one reason people can eat large meals and still feel tired. They're feeding their stomachs but starving their cells. The quality of your energy depends on the quality of your nutrition, not the quantity. A nutrient-dense diet gives your cells the raw materials they need to repair damage, maintain metabolism, and keep your energy stable throughout the day. Processed foods strip away the very nutrients your body relies on. Refining grains removes fiber and minerals. Hydrogenating oils destroys essential fatty acids, and excessive heating depletes vitamins. What remains are empty calories that drive up insulin and inflammation while giving nothing back. Over time, this imbalance leads to fatigue, poor skin health, brittle hair, and weakened immunity. By contrast, when you eat whole foods, fresh vegetables, quality proteins, nuts, seeds, and healthy fats, you nourish your body at the cellular level. These foods don't just prevent disease, they create vitality. The more you nourish, the more your body thrives. The nutrient to calorie ratio is what determines how efficiently your body operates. Leafy greens like kale and spinach have very few calories, but are packed with magnesium, potassium, and chlorophyll that help detoxify the body and support energy production. Eggs are rich in choline, which strengthens the brain and liver. Avocados provide potassium and monounsaturated fats that stabilize blood sugar. When you consistently choose foods like these, your body doesn't need constant snacks or stimulants to get through the day because it's getting what it truly needs. Focusing on nutrient density also changes how you experience food. You begin to crave differently. The more you eat whole, living foods, the more your taste buds adjust to appreciate natural flavors. Sugary and processed foods start to lose their appeal because your body recognizes they bring no value. Instead of fighting cravings, you simply stop having them. That's the power of nutrition working with your biology rather than against it. Once you stop thinking in terms of restriction and start thinking in terms of nourishment, health becomes effortless. Energy rises, hunger stabilizes, and your body naturally moves toward balance. Insulin is one of the most important hormones in your body. Yet most people don't fully understand how much control it has over energy, weight, and aging. Every time you eat, especially carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. To manage that sugar, your pancreas releases insulin, which acts like a key to unlock your cells so they can take in glucose for energy. This process is completely natural, but the problem begins when insulin is triggered too often and for too long. When you eat several times a day, snack frequently, or consume refined carbs and sugars, insulin stays elevated. Over time, your cells stop responding properly to it, a state known as insulin resistance. This means the body needs to produce more and more insulin to get the same effect, which traps you in a cycle of fatigue, hunger, and gradual weight gain. But insulin's role goes far beyond managing blood sugar. It directly influences aging, inflammation, and longevity. When insulin is high, the body is in storage mode. Fat burning shuts off completely because the signal insulin sends is store energy, don't use it. That's why it's nearly impossible to lose weight when insulin is elevated, even if you eat less. The body is chemically locked into holding on to fat. Low insulin, on the other hand, activates fat burning and energy production from stored fuel. This is why people who switch to low carb diets or intermittent fasting often experience only fat loss, but also better energy, mental clarity, and mood stability. Their bodies are finally able to tap into the stored energy that was previously unavailable. Chronic high insulin is also one of the main drivers of inflammation and oxidative stress, which are key processes behind aging and disease. When your body is constantly dealing with high levels of insulin, it's under stress, leading to damage in blood vessels, nerves, and organs. This can accelerate aging, increase the risk of heart disease, and impair brain function. It's no coincidence that conditions like diabetes, obesity, and Alzheimer's disease share a common root in insulin dysfunction. By keeping insulin under control, you're not just managing your weight, you're protecting your entire system from premature wear and tear. Longevity depends largely on how efficiently your body manages energy and reduces stress at the cellular level. Every time insulin spikes, it interferes with cellular repair processes. When insulin remains low for extended periods, such as during fasting or low carb eating, the body can focus on healing rather than constant digestion and storage. This environment supports autophagy, the body's natural detox and recycling mechanism, allowing old and damaged cells to be replaced with new, healthy ones. Essentially, low insulin states encourage regeneration, while high insulin states accelerate degeneration. What makes insulin control so powerful is that it can be managed primarily through lifestyle, not medication. You can lower insulin naturally by reducing sugar and refined carbs, eating fewer meals, prioritizing whole foods, and allowing longer gaps between eating. Every time you skip a snack or replace a sugary meal with healthy fats and vegetables, you're training your body to become more insulin sensitive. This means your cells respond more efficiently to insulin, less of it is needed, and your metabolism becomes balanced again. The result is not only better energy and fat burning, but also improved mood, sharper focus, and reduced inflammation. It's important to understand that insulin resistance doesn't develop overnight. It's the result of years of habits that keep your blood sugar elevated. The good news is that it can be reversed with consistent effort. As insulin levels normalize, hunger stabilizes, cravings diminish, and energy becomes steady. You're no longer driven by the constant need to eat because your body can finally access its own energy reserves. This balance is the foundation of longevity. People who maintain low insulin levels tend to age more gracefully, stay leaner, and have fewer chronic diseases. Controlling insulin is not just about diet, it's about giving your body the internal environment it needs to repair, renew, and sustain vitality over a lifetime. Real food is the foundation of real health, and the closer your diet is to nature, the more your body thrives. Modern eating habits have drifted far from what humans were designed to consume. Most people rely on processed foods that come in packages filled with artificial ingredients, preservatives, and refined sugars. These products might be convenient, but they lack the living nutrients your body needs to function properly. When you eat real food, fresh vegetables, fruits, clean proteins, and healthy fats, you provide your body with the tools it needs to repair, grow, and protect itself. Food isn't just fuel, it's information that tells your body how to operate. Every bite you take sends a signal to your cells, either supporting health or promoting imbalance. Real food sends the right signals. The human body is remarkably intelligent, but it can only work with what you give it. When you eat whole foods, you're not just consuming calories, you're absorbing enzymes, vitamins, minerals, fiber, and phytonutrients that work together to keep your systems balanced. For example, the natural potassium in leafy greens helps regulate blood pressure and muscle function, while the antioxidants in colorful vegetables protect your cells from damage. The omega-3 fats in wild fish support brain health and reduce inflammation, and the fiber in vegetables and seeds nourishes the beneficial bacteria in your gut, which play a huge role in digestion and immunity. Processed foods strip away these elements and replace them with synthetic additives that confuse the body. Over time, this imbalance shows up as fatigue, mood swings, digestive problems, and chronic disease. When you start eating real food again, the changes are noticeable and fast. Your energy becomes more stable, your digestion improves, and your cravings begin to fade. That's because your body is finally getting what it has been missing. Real food contains a balance of macronutrients, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins in their natural ratios, along with the micronutrients that help you process them efficiently. Unlike processed foods, which often spike blood sugar and trigger inflammation, whole foods digest slowly and nourish you steadily. For instance, a breakfast of eggs, avocado, and spinach provides protein, healthy fats, and minerals that keep you full and focused for hours, while a sugary cereal burns out your energy in an hour and leaves you hungry again soon after. Real food also influences your hormones in ways that protect your long-term health. Natural fats from foods like olive oil, nuts, and eggs help regulate hormones such as insulin, leptin, and cortisol. These hormones control everything from hunger and energy balance to stress and sleep. Processed foods, especially those high in sugar and refined oils, disrupt these signals, leading to overeating, weight gain, and fatigue. When you nourish your body with real food, your hormones begin to stabilize and your body can return to its natural rhythm. You start to eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full without forcing it. One of the biggest benefits of eating real food is its effect on inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the underlying cause of most modern diseases, including heart disease, arthritis, and even cognitive decline. Processed foods promote inflammation through excess sugar, refined flour, and oxidized oils. Whole foods do the opposite. They contain compounds that actively reduce inflammation. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale contain sulfur compounds that support detoxification. Berries contain polyphenols that protect your DNA. Herbs and spices like turmeric, garlic, and ginger are natural anti-inflammatories that strengthen your immune system. By making these foods a part of your daily life, you're constantly supporting your body's healing process instead of working against it. Real food doesn't just change how you feel physically, it changes your relationship with eating. It reconnects you to your body's natural instincts. You begin to taste the difference between artificial flavor and natural sweetness, between something that satisfies your senses and something that truly nourishes you. Eating becomes more mindful and enjoyable because you can feel the difference real nourishment makes. It's not about perfection or restriction, it's about alignment with how your body was designed to eat. When you fill your plate with foods that come from the earth and not a factory, you're choosing energy, focus, and longevity. You're not following a diet, you're returning to the foundation of real health.